Dine and dash is the act of eating a meal at a restaurant and leaving without paying. When I hear dine and dash being mentioned, I immediately go to the great Charles Doza, where he was arrested and then gave us one of the finest monologues ever recorded. This is democracy manifest. What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? Get your hands off my penis! When that video went viral so many years ago, there was a ton of different rumors and stories surrounding it. It had this air of mysticism almost. It ranged from hyping him up as some kind of Gotham supervillain to him being an infamous dine and dashing culprit that they were finally apprehending. And for some reason, that always stuck with me. So when I think of dine and dash, he is who I picture in my head now. Even though that wasn't the truth of that situation there, it's still, for some reason, what has been locked in my noodle. So today when I saw a body cam video of a douchebag being arrested for dine and dashing, I couldn't help but just think about Charles Doza and how much cooler he was than this loser we're about to watch.
On August 16, 2022, officers responded to a report of a man leaving a restaurant without paying his bill.
Why are you asking for my fees?
Because you're being accused of a crime. I'm not saying that you're guilty, but I gotta get you identified.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
All right? Relax. Relax. Come over here.
So that's the gist of it. He's being accused of not paying his bill at a restaurant, so now he's got 1 star and the cops are just casually coming up to him asking for his ID. This video is blown up over the last 12 hours, and every post about it says that this is a Wall Street Bets mod. I'm sure all of you have heard of that subreddit, Wall Street Bets. It's a very popular one, and I don't know if that's a true statement or not, but if this really is a mod on Wall Street Bets, that makes this situation even goofier, because this goober is the quintessential Reddit mod in real-life caricature, and good heavens, it couldn't be more fitting. It's exactly what you envision when you picture a mod interacting with other human beings in the real world.
I went over there to have happy hour. I had some food, and I day trade. I do option trading. I got the business major and I got an accounting, so I do day trade.
He randomly decides to mention that he's a day trader, does options like, yeehaw, woo, that's fucking awesome, this guy's amazing. It has nothing to do with anything. That is totally irrelevant to everything. It wouldn't matter if you're Michael Jordan. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't matter. You didn't pay your bill. You can't do that.
Were you by yourself?
Yes, by myself.
All right. How much did you eat? What did you buy?
No, it was only $70, bro.
$70 worth?
Yeah.
All right.
So,
God, his attitude is so insufferable. So he's laughing at, it was only $70, bro. I make that in a millisecond with my day trading and options because I am a Hustlers University graduate and I learned all about this kind of stuff, brother. Like, I was on Reddit the other day getting my financial advice as I usually do, and I'm making a killing right now. $70, that's nothing. This is a non-issue. He just doesn't understand, like, liquidity versus supply and demand. He doesn't understand the bell curve, the angle of azimuth.
I tried to pay with Apple Pay.
Okay.
And he said, like, I'm sorry, sir, we don't take Apple Pay. I was like, cool, I give him my credit card. My credit card didn't go through. And his face was really upset already. And I'm like, I tried to educate him. I'm like, listen, I don't have any liquidity with me because most of my capital is my investments. In banks, I don't have banks neither.
He sounds like me when I was back in high school thinking of excuses for why I didn't finish an assignment. Like just a bunch of nonsense mumbo jumbo. He goes through this long speech about why he can't pay for it because he doesn't believe in liquidity. You know, liquidity is a belief held by simpletons and he doesn't have anything in the bank. He'd be a damn fool to have anything in the bank, obviously. So he just can't pay for the food at all. He talks about how all of his money's in investments, which is turbo dope. I have no doubt in my mind this guy is investing epic swag style into the coolest Web3 projects. He's got tons of awesome coins. Like, I know he's crushing it. Big thanks to World of Warships for sponsoring this video. I've been working with the World of Warships team for quite some time to design some custom in-game content, so I'm a commander in the game now. I go by Chuck Blast on the seas out there, and I'm an absolute menace. The name of our ship is the Blastmaster. We sail under Chuck's flag, so I help design the assets, the camo, just kind of top to bottom. It looks like me, it sounds like me, because I do the voice acting for it. Dead on target. I'm, for all intents and purposes, engaged in war out there, and it's extremely fun. World of Warships is an amazing game that my father and I played together. He's been hard addicted for years, so it's really fun to watch him play as Chuck Blast. So there's new content released every month. There's so many ships to choose from: destroyers, battleships, aircraft carriers, cruisers, and you can play alone or in a division with friends. So you can use code PenguinZ0 to get the mission to unlock me as your commander, Chuck Blast. You also get 7 days premium account time, 1.5 million credits, 500 doubloons, and the battleship Bayern. It's available for PC and consoles, and the code is for newly registered players, but existing players can acquire these items by purchasing my bundle or through the new internet's containers. So you can click the link in the description to get started. Thanks again, World of Warships.
All right, okay. Do you have any means to pay that 70?
No. I want to sue them. I'm sorry.
But do you,
No. I'm sorry. You're asking the wrong question, sir. I'm so sorry.
you consume food, right?
Huh?
You consume food?
Hell yeah.
It's just something was off with this guy. He pitched this crazy fit, went nuts in here, threatening people. I'm talking about like went nuts at the bar.
I love that he's playing the victim here like this. Oh, actually, I want to sue them for thinking I couldn't pay 70 measly dollars. 70 clams? Oh, that's nothing. Of course I can pay that. I have no ways of paying that because all of my money's in these investments, but I obviously have $70, and, you know, I want to sue them now. Like, the delusion on this guy is incredible. I have no doubt that he was probably trying to barter with them at some point too, like, oh, actually, do you accept bonds here? I'd like to pay in some of these bonds. As you see, I'm an investor, so I don't really believe in liquidity. Okay, maybe not bonds. Do you accept Safe Moon here? No Safe Moon? Oh my god, you guys are so behind on the times. This is archaic. No Web3 capabilities here? Okay, how about, can I pay you in CumRocket coin? Okay, I'm out of here. You won't accept CumRocket coin? I was even going to leave a 200% tip. That's your fault now. $70 is nothing. That's literally no money at all. I fart and $70 comes out of my ass. It's not that I can't pay, it's that I'm not going to pay because you're not accepting real currency like my shitcoins here. And apparently he was throwing a tantrum too, threatening people. What an unhinged lunatic.
Do you have a way to pay that bill now?
Correct. No, I don't have it now.
You can? All right.
No, I can't pay it.
All right,
I want to report the
all
business.
right, but listen.
Because it was a statement. Can I say this?
Walking away from a tab is a
No,
crime.
he kicked me out.
Yeah, I know, but you, because...
No.
All right.
No.
Hold on, Victor. No, you can't, Victor. You can't, because then you're going to go to jail.
No, I know. But
relax.
you
Put your hand over here. Put yourself over here.
No, hands. No.
Put yourself over here.
Don't come with that, sir.
Weirdo NPC here is trying a very interesting technique of being as annoying as possible. I cut out a large chunk of it there because it was just him putting on this, like, drama club thespian troupe performance about being on camera and shit, just to be a nuisance. So I think what he's trying to do here is just be so bothersome to the officer that the officer loses interest. So he, like, de-aggroes the police officer by just being annoying, and the police officer just doesn't want to deal with the headache and leaves. I'm pretty sure that's what his strategy is, but luckily, it doesn't work out.
You know, how late can we stay open? It might take him till 10 o'clock before he can pay his tab. He was on his computer. I mean, it was nuts. This guy is out there.
Oíste, si le falté respeto, excúsame. Because I go through this racist stuff all the time, stereotyping. But today I was like, you know what? I'm tired of it.
I think this guy is just a real con man, and I think he's going to go from place to place.
Call Officer Leo.
Yeah.
He then tries to claim that it was racism here that led to this situation. So he's really going for every possible approach he can to weasel his way out of this. The business owner here is saying how he thinks he's a con man who just goes business to business pulling this stunt. And I think he's probably right. It feels like this isn't his first rodeo with dine and dashing. It feels like this is probably something he does pretty often.
I got the money to pay, and I was trying to pay.
All right, can you pay now?
No, I'm not. I'm trying to pay, so I want to sit down, have a water while I get my payment.
This guy must have the orb of confusion in his pockets right now, because he is spitting some stupid shit. He is on that moron potion right now. It's so confusing listening to him. He's lost in his own sauce. He's like, oh, I just wanted to have a water. I was going to pay. I can pay. I was planning on paying. I wanted to pay. I was going to pay. The officer says, well, can you pay now? And he goes, no. It's like, what the fuck?
Can I do that?
All right, signal 20. I need to know if they want to press charges.
Yeah, because, yeah. No, I want to press charges, not them. Me. Officer.
Andrade, can you answer me that question?
Charges, not them. I want to press charges to the restaurant, not to me.
I'm sorry?
We good.
Buddy starts spamming emotes now, and he's like, I actually want to sue them, not the other way around, trying the Uno reverse card here. And I'd love to know how that lawsuit would go. I'm suing this restaurant because they're mad at me for not paying my bill. I fully planned on paying my bill, I just refused to. I even offered to give them an IOU. He didn't accept it. That's their fault, and they're mad at me? What the fuck? I did nothing wrong.
I'm so sorry. Estoy bien nervioso, man, because
All right, so if you have what do you have there that you can pay with, that you can pay the bill? What do you have here that you can pay the bill?
Right here, sir. My Robinhood account where I do day trading.
No, but you can't pay with that.
Yeah, so that's my only form of
can't.
payment.
Okay, I
That's not
got
my
you.
problem. I'm trying to pay.
All right, hold on.
the thing. Yeah.
71 switching to.
He flashes his Robinhood account, which makes me believe he probably is a Wall Street Bets mod, because that's the starter pack. He's like, no, look, I could absolutely afford to pay. Look at my Robinhood account. And the officer's like, brother, you can't pay with that there. And he's like, I know, but look, it's right here. I can't pay, but look at this money here. This is where it all is. It's not my fault. What am I supposed to do about that?
Too.
I'm sorry, no. Déjame callarme porque me siento tan mal because I'm questioning your. This is so funny. You can't wait to see what's gonna happen. It's amazing.
His mannerisms, he's like going full Joker mode here. I'm the Joker, baby. This guy's just acting like he's some kind of weird, quirky goofball. He's like, oh, you're not going to want to miss what happens next. It's going to be amazing what happens next. Gotham deserves a new class of day trader, and I'm going to give it to him.
Póneselo en el. Siéntate. Sit.
Dando.
71 taser pointed.
I'm sitting down, guys. Look at this.
All right, put your hands behind your back.
Okay.
Pete, put your hands behind your back.
Telling that I'm trying to pay my costs, and now he's arresting me.
Get up.
Things have escalated here, and he continues to try and say that he's attempting to pay his tab. He's also lobbying to the civilians around him like, look at what's happening. I don't understand what's going on. I was just telling the officer I was trying to pay my tab. I even showed him my Robinhood account. I was going to pay my tab with my imaginary money that I don't have. What do you mean? I don't know what's gone wrong. This injustice. I can't believe it.
I'm Republican too, and he's Spanish. It's a system. It sucks, mama. Why are you searching me?
Stop. You're under arrest.
Why? He's telling me I'm under arrest, but he's not telling me why. Office
You're under arrest for theft.
for theft. Mira, theft. I was stealing.
Thank you for your quickness and your kindness. Can I get
sure.
a bottle of water here?
Oh,
Stay hydrated.
thanks so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
The juxtaposition between these two officers' experiences is comical. One of them's having the worst day of their life, having to interact with this insufferable loser, and then the other one's just hanging out with the restaurant owner who's being extremely sweet and then just gives him water, and he's like, oh, well, thank you so much for this. I appreciate it.
Yes, don't delete the video, please. Thank you, Officer Hernandez. Thank you, man. I appreciate your service. Just don't delete the video.
I cut out a lot there. Things get very messy. It reaches this weird climax where this guy just starts going a little ballistic and wiggling around, which eventually ends with him getting taken to the ground and charged with resisting on top of already this. And now they've got him in the back of the patrol car and he's asking them not to delete the video, which I think he really should have asked them to delete the video. I don't know why he thought he'd come out of this looking like the good guy here. Everything you could do wrong, he did wrong many, many times. I'm honestly convinced that he must have been the diversion to a bigger scheme, like something out of Ocean's 11, where this guy was supposed to just occupy all of the police's time by just being as loud and over the top as possible to direct their attention all on him while his associates do crime elsewhere. So that way it'd keep the heat off of them and focus entirely on him. Because that's what it feels like. Out of nowhere, he just starts like yelling and screaming and trying to like get everyone's attention from the public around him too. And it just makes this huge hoopla, this massive song and dance out of this situation. So it really feels like he was the diversion in a movie for a bigger crime plot. It was weird.
I can pay the tab right now if you want. Like, it's no problem. And I can tip them the $100. No? And I know it was a miscommunication, and I know you're gonna have to apologize to me, you know? And the owner is gonna have to apologize to me too.
You can't pay the tab by just flashing your Robinhood account at someone. It doesn't just beam the money quantumly into their cash register. You can't pay it. That's the whole root of the issue here. You were provided a service under the expectation that you would pay for the service you were provided, and you can't. Also, you apparently freaking out and throwing a massive tantrum in the restaurant probably didn't help things at all. I imagine if you were a bit more respectful about it, like, oh man, Apple Pay's not going through, my credit card's not swiping, something must really be wrong. I can afford to pay this, but maybe we'll need to think of another way of doing it, this and that. Like, if you were more respectful about it, I imagine this may have played out a little bit differently. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about this a little bit. That's about it. See ya. People keep recommending The Worthless 319. I think I've seen it, but I don't really know. I'll look it up. So chat seems divided on whether or not we've watched this. It sounds really familiar to me, and this time frame seems about right. Definitely haven't seen this one, but I think we've seen this. I don't know, really? Okay, let's see.
Today, I'll cover one of the most disturbing cases ever on Reddit. I also want to give a fair warning. Viewer discretion is advised.
Okay.
It's so unique, I haven't seen anything that comes close to this in terms of authenticity. I also highly discourage you from looking any of this up since it's very graphic and it could potentially haunt you for life.
Is it a toss problem on Twitch, or does he not show anything? Doesn't show anything? Okay.
Some of you might already be familiar with this user since this topic is more or less 3 years old. In the replies, he has a few interactions with people about spirituality.
These are the bits, cryo.
He's afraid of suffering, and people tell him to take it slow and to not read too much into it, but he seems to be unable to do so. But it gets very dark in the replies.
Sounds like the dude from that,
is
like, Da Vinci Code that keeps hitting himself with
penis and both
like
testicles,
the stick,
but roughly 1 inch
like
of the base remains.
flail or whatever.
Primal instinct, etc. tells me to remove it. The first time I used a gun, now I must use a knife, and it is going to be exceedingly difficult and painful compared to a few trigger pulls. After getting the advice to consider...
He removed his penis with a gun. I mean, that sounds like a lie. That wouldn't even work. That's like that carnival game where you shoot out a star with the BBs. You'd have to do like a full fucking line. Well, I guess you could be using a higher caliber bullet to be actually. I didn't even think of that.
In this post, he goes to length explaining how he circumcised himself, shot his own dick 4 times with a revolver, and then fried and ate it. He also lost his left testicle in the process.
That was a thing on Cannibal Cafe.
Ended up at the hospital. In a different reply, he explains that he sawed his own penis and then ate it. And someone was curious as to how it tasted, and he claims that it tastes like chicken, and that he cut it in half since he almost vomited trying to eat the whole thing. He
this
states
seems
that
very
he's only
fake.
Following God's will. He also is willing to send the images of his doings to people who are doubting him. Against all doubts, OP delivered.
Okay, does he actually, in this video, let me see. Let me make sure he doesn't actually show the pictures if there are any. Before continuing though, I will say, having pictures doesn't necessarily confirm that. You guys remember the BME Pain Olympics where there's the video of the dude cutting his cock off? It's fake. You can fake those things. You can easily, well, easily might not be the right word depending on how the pictures look, but yeah, you can absolutely fake it. He posted the pics. Again, I guess they could be real. It sounds unbelievable. But I guess it is possible. I'm just saying, like with the BME Pain Olympics where everyone's like, can you believe this guy cut his own cock off on camera? That was fake. That is a confirmed fake video. So I'm sure you could also fake pictures too.
Who express their doubts.
The way he's talking about it seems
now,
like he's fishing for
I wish you
attention.
were merely
That's the
making a
impression
laugh
I
for
get.
yourself. What followed was something that probably no
It
one
wasn't
expected.
fake. Again, how do people not know this? This was a big deal. The creator of the BME Pain Olympics even came forward saying, yes, that shock video, all of that was fake. Now, it's not everything that the creator has posted being fake, but that video in particular is fake. Because the person behind it, Shannon Larrett, is Devin Larrett's brother. He passed away now, but before then, he did publicly state that it was a fake video. Oh, here we go. Here it is. Here's the article. Yeah, so it is in this interview. It goes over Shannon. I probably can't even show this website. The man responsible for the creation of this site was Shannon Larrett. Shannon was himself one of the first people in the West to have his tongue split and among the first 3 people to ever receive an eyeball tattoo. Shannon's BME website would gain further notoriety after he created a fake but very convincing shock video titled BME Pain Olympics Final Round. I actually didn't know this part. This video originally concluded with a disclaimer noting that the footage was not genuine. However, shortly after being passed around the internet, the disclaimer was removed, leaving many viewers to believe that they were actually watching self-performed castrations and penectomies. Yeah, so that, like I said, that video was fake.
This guy is insane. He made multiple posts stating that he shot his own penis 4 times.
This has been proven fake. The worthless 319? There, hold on. Nah, I'm deep in it now. Where? Like I said, just because there are pictures doesn't mean the pictures are genuine there. And the way he talks about it is literal Reddit, like, attention seeking. There's a whole Reddit about it being debunked. Fuck, okay, I'll have to go to that after, then I don't feel like going that far out of the way now. I'll finish at least getting the lore here.
He basically sees himself as a prophet, receiving direct orders
Who's to say he wasn't?
to save mankind. Here's a more
God did some
reply
fucked
from
up
him,
shit to the
which
people
goes
that,
more
like,
in
followed
depth.
him back in the day.
It reads, "It's extremely unpleasant and a daily question why God chose
He's the
me.
prime
I'm
punch.
the most average person I can think of."
No, he's the
He
hero.
also states that he had visits at insane asylums 5 times. Universe.
Why would you fake
What's also interesting
attention
is
just
that
like
he
this?
calls his doings
People this insane don't type this coherently. It reads like someone trying their best to play the role of
in the
like a
replies
crazy
on another
genital
post where he
mutilating
again
person.
asks for advice. He details
It
that he
reads very
uploaded the
fake.
castration.
There still is a chance
Now,
it's not
I
though.
think well, Worthless 319 always ignored these concerns.
Damn.
Without any exception.
We tried.
Now, before we proceed, you may be curious as to how he even releases himself. He shares his experiences
Out his butt.
in a reply. It reads,
Redirected
"I'm
it.
sitting down. If you're talking about orgasmic, since I finished castrating myself, I haven't gotten turned on once. Before castration, I had 1 nut. I blew apart my left one. I could come very easily by thought alone." In other posts, he shares his state of mind. "I especially fear the end of humanity as it approaches. It's inches away. Centimeters.
Goddamn 5G.
No one understands me, especially myself. I called an ambulance after about 5 minutes of listening to music, laying on the ground.
Yeah, this
and
definitely
don't
is
remember
fake.
much of the, and I want to go through a few.
There's a website that shows his deleted Reddit history, not remove edit. Yeah, it doesn't prove that those pictures are either A, real, or B, him. There are people, and I do know this is a thing, I think it's called a penectomy, I think. There are people that have actually cut their cock off online, and there's videos of it. But I don't think this guy was one of them, because he just keeps making Reddit posts like he's an anime villain or something going into a monologue. I don't think this is, like, real. But the actual act of someone cutting their own cock off and shit, that is something that some absolute maniacs have done. Ooh, how deep does it go?
He wanted to end himself by bleeding out of his pelvic area to prevent a conflict between North Korea and the States.
It might have
After
worked too. We
psychosis
still haven't
inducing
entered into a
substances
conflict.
like DMT and LSD. There were people who were motivating Worthless to further self-mutilate himself in the name of religion. The users doing that deleted their accounts. So, as for information about Worthless,
Charlie, I saw the images. The dude has no dick. Like I said, on the internet, it's called a penectomy. There are people that have literally cut their own cocks off. There was even on this was a big one, the Cannibal Cafe. Cannibal Cafe, what was his name? Armin Minsk, something like that. It was a user on Cannibal Cafe said, "Hey, I want my cock cut off and I want to eat it." Calling someone a Redditor to their face in 2019 is a fighting phrase. It's like calling someone a cunt back in the 90s. It's a powerful insult. And I get asked all the time why I take a shit on Reddit or shit on Redditors and Reddit culture in general. And it's days like today that remind me exactly why I have such a shit view of Reddit and why the majority of people have almost no respect for the community. They are so goddamn unhelpful. Now, I'm saying they, and I am a very frequent user of Reddit. I go on there almost daily. I like the posts. I like to go on specific subreddits and see the kind of shit going on in the world. I think as long as you don't go in the comments, it's a pretty goddamn decent site for the most part. But it's the second you accidentally get a little too adventurous, or perhaps you just forget the one sacred rule on the internet, the 11th commandment from God: don't go to the comments section on Reddit, because it's just goddamn embarrassing to even look at. It makes you feel bad for being on the site, seeing the mentally ill, socially rejected, downright depraved community that for some reason all kind of festers in the comment section on any post ever. Professional Reddit commenters who farm karma as if they're some type of drug kingpin and get this superiority complex. They watch 2 episodes of Rick and Morty and follow Bill Nye on Twitter, and all of a sudden they think they have all the answers and they're better than the person who initially posted the thread asking for help. Fucking Reddit commenters make YouTube commenters look like sane cool kids at the lunch table. Okay, so why am I talking about this? I'm still fucking upset about this. Today, Andrew and I went to Beef O'Brady's, as is tradition after a hard workout, and Andrew's car had 2 spiders in it that we came across, so he wanted to look for a solution online as to the most efficient way to getting rid of the spiders. A little pest control action, just Google it, because that's what a modern man does. That's the efficient way of getting answers. Well, unfortunately, Google recommended Reddit threads. Our pro-sage life advice from a 14-year-old, how to do your taxes and get rid of the spiders in your car. Shit like that. Just a flurry of all of these Reddit posts addressing how to get rid of spiders. Now, at the time, we didn't even realize how infuriating that would be. But when we got to Beef's, we opened one of the links, and immediately every single top comment was a horrible, stupid fucking joke that's been said a million times before. Set the car on fire. I'm not kidding. Out of the 5 or 6 threads, that was pretty much the top on all of them. I'm going to show you 4 out of the 6 so it's not just overly redundant. I swear to God, these are all different posts and different people. Although they're not even really different people. They have no sense of individuality. They're just fucking regurgitating, vomiting, ass shitting out all kinds of shit that they read a million times before to try and farm that precious karma or make people think that they're a good comedian. I really don't know. But this is how all Reddit comments go. You go to the comments, the first 15 are going to be shit jokes that don't make you giggle or exhale at all, only serving to make you just irate because you maybe wanted a real answer or a real discussion, and you're not getting it. Not in the comment section on Reddit. But anyway, here's the first thread. How do I get spiders out of my car? Obviously the first answer, burn it to the ground and change your last name. A real side splitter for sure, not exactly helpful, but goddammit, that comedy is unique, original, wacky, and zany. And that's gotta count for something, so the updoots to the left, am I right? Edit, thanks for the gold, kind stranger, wasn't expecting this, oh my gosh. Edit 2, wow, platinum, holy shit, time to add chocolate to the milk and go wild to celebrate, kind stranger. Now let's go ahead and scroll down. Surely it's only, the top comment that has such a great joke. Surely they can't all be busting out unique bangers. Surprisingly, that joke didn't spawn a pun thread, but luckily for us it didn't. Underneath that, though, we're gifted with another great joke. Put some tarantulas in there to eat the smaller spiders. Large spiders are easier to keep track of. Oh, well, I do tip my fedora to that one. Still no actual advice yet. A classic double whammy. It's an Ultima. Fire is the best option. Fill it with frogs. Well, my gentle sirs, these are quite comedic. Finally, at the very bottom of the page with a whopping 2 points, an actual suggestion. Glue traps, and a link to them. Now, actually, unironically helpful, that's not a bad idea. Glue traps for insects, it makes sense. But what do the other experts on the website say? Let's go to another thread, which is basically just a carbon copy of this one's commenters. Different threads, same comedy, baby, because for some reason all Reddit commenters are basically just carbon copies of each other. Go ahead and take a guess at what the top comment's gonna be. Spoiler alert. It's fire, because of course it is. On Reddit, everything that even deals with anything even yucky to the smallest degree, anything with an insect, you can guarantee the top comment in the thread is going to be, kill it with fire, or something with fire. Next highest upvoted, I believe ammonia and bleach create chlorine gas. You're right. So if you want to go World War I on their ass, that might be an option. To be fair, this comment actually has sentimental value to me, because I accidentally created chlorine gas when I tried to kill a cockroach once. I talked about that in a video, so that one I don't really have a problem with. I just thought I'd point it out. But luckily, right under that one, we go right back to the standard, set it on fire. I like the reply, lol, as if they'd never heard that before, or perhaps they just always laugh anytime they see that. Next, nuke it from orbit. It's the only way to be sure. It's their car now. Scorpions. Definitely scorpions. That's another big one. It's theirs now. They own it. You lost it. Shit like that. That one's also just as common as fire. So I guess it's not exactly a 100% guarantee it's going to be set it on fire when it's dealing with insects, because it has to compete with it's theirs now. Those are always battling for the top spot. GIF of a car on fire, snakes, sell it, elephants, get some funnel web spiders and dump them in and eat the other spiders. And then one guy accidentally almost lends some pseudo advice, but his advice is basically just saying, you might be fucked. None of this helpful, of course, but very humorous, obviously. New thread, same top comment, gasoline, and says light it on fire in the reply. Milking every ounce of karma he can out of that joke, I guess. Bye birds, lady who swallowed a fly, just more fucking garbage. This guy really drops a fat comedy routine on this one. Release a snake to catch it, then you're gonna want to lock a mongoose in there for a few days to kill the snake. Once that happens, you need a large mammal like a wolf to get the mongoose. After this, you'll need to find a gorilla to let loose in the car. They're excellent at wolf wrangling. Come winter, the gorilla will just die off from the cold. Which is more than the guy underneath him who actually lent a little advice received. Nothing a good car fire won't fix. It just goes on and on and on. While I think absolutely the jokes suck ass on their own and are used a million times ad nauseum, I'm not here to just be the joke police. What's frustrating is when you're looking for real answers like we were today, and all you get is the same goddamn middle school lunch table joke that you've heard ever since you were a goddamn child and seen on every thread ever posted on the website. Burn it with fire. Get a snake, lol. It's their car now, lol. Epic lol, thanks for the gold. It's so frustrating. And that's only scratching the tip of the iceberg, the tip of the wiener on how just frustrating and stupid Reddit comments are. That's throwing away witch hunts, which are huge in the comment sections and 9 times out of 10 are wrong anyway, a la Boston Bomber. That's the biggest one. That one Reddit will never live down. It's just this most hostile place and the most humorless place on the internet. Fucking Twitter comment threads that are just GIF responses and shit pictures are more entertaining than seeing the same fucking joke every single time at the top comment in the Reddit thread, the top fucking 20 comments. I mean, if you want to make the dumb joke, burn it down, kill it with fire, lol, do that, and then after that put a period and then real advice, which admittedly some people in these threads did, but they were buried at the bottom. Buried. Giving real advice? No. Give me that same stupid goddamn joke. But anyway, that's about it. Just wanted to vent about it, because today I was getting frustrated for Andrew, with Andrew. Just so dumb. It's so stupid. Just racing to tell the dumbest fucking joke that everyone's already heard a million times on the goddamn website. Anyway, that's it. That's why Reddit's reputation in the comments is pretty goddamn awful. So yeah. It came to my attention last night during stream that I've never worn a wedge shirt. Wow. Didn't mean to baby talk you there. It's come to my attention I've never worn a red shirt in videos or on stream before. I don't own many. In fact, this is probably like one of only 2 that I have. It says Dungeon Master. I can't believe I accidentally just dropped a fucking wedge shirt. That's crazy. Anyway, though, I'd like to show you some wacky text messages. It's been a little bit, so let's take a peek at what I found today. Where one date went really well, and then he completely fumbled it by excessive love bombing. This guy got hit by Cupid's arrow straight up the keister, and he could not wiggle it out, and it's completely sabotaged his chance at love. Last night was something else. I don't say this often, but you felt different. Right away, that text is already kind of alarming. He's speaking like he's an anime character about to go into the final battle, and he just had this huge epiphany, like, wait, something's different. I'm fighting for my friends now. It just feels so yucky. And she responds saying, haha, different how? Like, I've been out here meeting all these pretty faces, and then you show up, and suddenly they all feel irrelevant. You've got presence. Real presence. I guess she was fucking aura farming during their first date, and it just captivated him. Well, thank you. I had a good time, too. You don't get it. I haven't stopped thinking about you. You were in my head before the night even ended. The way you talk. The way you carry yourself. I liked it a lot. It's so over the top. I can just picture him putting his finger on her lips like, shh. No, you don't get it. I love you. Like, I don't know what the thought process is here. Like, man's just seeing hearts swirling around his head here. Like, not even a fucking love potion out of Harry Potter has someone talking like this. It just feels immediately obsessive. They had a single date, and now he's texting her like his whole world shifted upside down. He's watched one too many Hallmark movies. Becomes pretty clear that she starts to get a bit uncomfortable with it, saying, haha, okay, now you're laying it on thick. Which is an understatement. This is beyond laying it on thick. This guy he's putting dollops out here. He then tries to play it cool. Nah, I'm just honest. Most guys are too scared to say what they actually feel. I'm not one of them. Yeah, he's not like the other guys. This is an alpha male. He's not afraid of feelings. Shit. He'll throw all the feelings he can possibly think of out there immediately after one date, making sure to make the other party extremely concerned for his mental stability. She responds, saying, that's fair, I guess. I do appreciate directness and honesty. Which, I think this is her way of saying, like, no, this is good, but that's probably enough. He doesn't get the hint. Good! Because I'm already planning our second date. I'm not trying to waste time. And I don't do casual. I know what I want when I see it. Wow, okay, a little fast, but I guess I'm flattered? You should be. You should be. I've already planned our second date and our entire lives together. I've even prepared a bedroom in my apartment for you, and I've informed your family you're moving in next week. You're not just hot, you're captivating. And I know I'm not the only one who sees it, which is why I'm already protective. That's a bad thing, bud. Like, that's not a good feature to have where you've been on one date with this woman and now you think she belongs to you. We've completed the transaction. You're my girlfriend now. I own you. Just letting you know. That's why I'm protective. To be honest with you, I don't like the idea of other guys thinking they have a shot, which is why I will never grant you permission to leave the domicile. You are not to be out in public without me accompanying you, milady. She then says, that's a strong reaction for a first date. Maybe. Or maybe I just recognize rare when I see it. I recognize rare when I see it too. A nice warm pink sinner. He's talking about her like a shiny fucking Pokemon here. It sounds like he's just trying to lock her in the Pokeball. I don't know what the actual thought process is here, and I know he's not the only one that does this. It is a real thing that some dudes try. Love bombing is what it's called, I think. It's just creepy. Like, no one likes this, especially not from a stranger. They've been on one date. They're not, like, close friends. They don't know each other at all. Now you have this unhinged weirdo who's talking about, like, I'm planning our second date, and I don't like the idea of other guys thinking they have a shot, okay? I'm gonna let you know right now. I'm being very protective because I recognize rare. You're a diamond, and I love diamonds. He just gives off the vibe that he's gonna try and make furniture out of her skin. But yeah, I noticed how the guy at the next table kept glancing at you. I wanted to say something. I didn't, but I clocked it. Brother, you're not fucking James Bond. Like, what are you doing? Going out in public analyzing threats? Like Jack Bauer out here trying to fucking find terrorists or something. I noticed there was a guy at the dinner table across the room who looked at you twice. I was gonna go over there and beat his ass, give him a swirly, and maybe take his fucking scalp off, but I decided I'm not gonna do that. Instead, I just tracked his license plate. I got it when we went outside. Weird you noticed that much, she says. I pay attention, Jin. You're the kind of woman who causes problems without even trying. I like that. But it also means I need to keep close. I don't like distractions. This guy really thinks he's in some kind of fucking spy movie or something. According to her, he's some kind of fitness Instagram poster, and he came on to her as she was initially interested, so they went on this date, and then after this date, she just finds him really creepy. Brother, it's time to integrate a few sets of social skills into your routine here, because goddamn, this is rough. Now she's just kind of full on getting worried. What do you mean, keep close, buddy? I mean, like, exclusivity. I don't share energy. He's not a AA battery, goddammit. The only thing he shares is a knuckle sandwich to anyone who glances at his woman, whom he now owns because they went on a single date. And if I'm putting mine into someone, I expect the same back. If you're still exploring options, let me know now. I'm not the guy you juggle. Dude, we just met though. Like, yesterday. Exactly. That's why it matters how we move now. No, be for real, you're kidding, right? She's in disbelief over this now. It matters. I understand we just met yesterday, which is why it's of paramount importance that we proceed the exact way that I feel is necessary. The only healthy way, which is where we're immediately exclusive. Now quick, there's no time to waste. Come to my dungeon. We'll talk there. No, I'm not kidding. I love that he puts quotation marks around it. This guy talks like if a Redditor accidentally got a woman's number. I move with intention. This fence got me moving like claymation. Now he's just speaking like fucking Dracula flow here. I move with intention. You're not just, quotes, just talking type of girl. I'm not a, quotes, maybe type of man. This is just painful to read. This guy uses more quotes than a fucking mainstream journalism article referencing a tweet. You said you're looking for someone serious. So am I. No one is more serious than this guy, I'll tell you that much. This is coming off kinda heavy. Or maybe it's just unfamiliar because you're used to guys being passive. You're used to betas, not alphas like me. Let me guess, your ex, quote, let you do whatever, and then got mad when you stopped caring. He doesn't even use quotes the right way. Why is that in quotes? She then just says, don't bring up my ex. It is a weird thing for him to try there. That was an interesting play. He's trying to, like, armchair psychologist her here, but he's terrible at it. Like, he's trying to make these crazy reads on her as a person and completely misses the mark. Like, what is this even... Like, I don't even know what he's trying to say. Let me guess, your ex let you do whatever you want and then got mad when you stopped caring. What? What in tarnation are you babbling about? She then continues saying that's weird. But he disagrees. Not weird. Insightful. This guy's a cornucopia of great information that you can learn from, lady. He's got all the answers. He knows you better than you know yourself, and he got all this from just one date. Read you like a book. I don't want to end up like the last guy who didn't know what he had. So I'm telling you now, I value connection. I value loyalty. And I expect that energy from day one. I don't wait around for someone to figure out if I'm worth it. I think this is supposed to be his attempt at selling himself and, like, showing how he's so different from other guys because he just loves so much, he loves so hard. He reminds me of that TikToker I've been making fun of quite a bit, Garrett, the guy who's like, oh, when I think of pussy, I can't help but fucking cry and squirt and squeal. Ooh, that when I think of that pussy. What a beautiful, immaculate creation. And I love during periods when it bleeds because it's a divine blood, I swear. Like, he reminds me of that guy. She finally just says what should be obvious to him. I'm starting to feel a little uncomfortable, honestly. Which makes sense. That's a very natural thing to feel when some guy's immediately, like, putting these stipulations on what it would mean if you saw him again. Look, we had a great first date. Now here's all the things that should worry you about me. Wow, you're really going to pull that? I give you genuine attention, make you feel seen, and now I'm, quote, too much. What are you even quoting? She never even said too much. She just said that it's making her uncomfortable. Why does he use so many fucking quotes? Who is this guy? Good God. Holy cannoli. Jiminy Christmas. I also like how he says he makes her feel seen. Brother, what are you talking about? He's just trying to pull out and just use all of these things he's seen in, like, rom-coms and shit. Man's just bloviating. This is why women say they want real men but push them away the second it gets real. You're used to boys. I'm not a boy. And then she's just finally like, alright, this is it. I'm not doing this piece. Unreal. I hope the next guy you give your time to knows what he's getting. He won't see you like I did, but go ahead. Play it safe. I can't believe she wasn't eating out of the palm of his hands here. His strategy was textbook. I am shocked it didn't work. So, I mean, sometimes nice guys just finish last, you know what I mean? He did everything right. Anyway, I just wanted to share this with you real quick. That's it. See ya. Do you remember Ko, the face stealer from Avatar: The Last Airbender? That creature that had a ton of different faces that it stole from its victims? Well, what if that thing was a Redditor? Do I have you piddling in your britches yet from this scary campfire story? I should, because it's real. I know Reddit and creeps go together like macaroni and cheese, but this particular specimen is special. He's like an SCP of pure delusion, cringe, and obsession. A dangerous mix. A recipe for disaster. And over the course of like 2 or so years, he's made a bunch of different accounts in order to message one lady in particular. And I'm sure this isn't the only person he's been messaging through all of these accounts. I imagine all of the other people are probably just too afraid to show anything or talk about anything in regards to this guy, because they're probably fearing for their lives. They're probably worried that he's going to show up at their doorstep and turn them into furniture like Ed Gein, because this guy is a fucking freak. I haven't gone over weirdo messages in a while, so I thought it was time to dust off the swamp ass throne here to take a peek. The messages we're about to look at are the newest. They're only a couple of days old, and they come years after she thought she had already defeated this menace. But I guess there was a post-credit scene with like a hand reaching from the grave, and now he's back. And he's found her on Instagram, and he's starting to harass her there. Now, Buddy starts by activating his Sharingan of Riz. He's alting. He says, "Hey, can I slide her? We spoke on Reddit for a while." What an incredible opening line. This is no doubt a pickup artist. This guy fucks. Naturally, she asks, "Who is this?" Because there's no profile picture here. I imagine the account name is some kind of like throwaway nonsense that looks like an Xbox Live arcade code. And he says, "I don't know how to describe it. It was also some time ago, but you have a great profile, ha ha ha, and amazing highlights. You seem very outgoing." Weaving a bit of mystery in there. This guy's good. "You know me, but I'm not going to tell you who I am. I actually don't know how to describe it, actually. Who am I?" An existential question. If you subscribe to Solipsism, I mean, we don't need to get into the weeds of it, but you have such an amazing profile, m'lady. And I'm just the gentle sir for you. She presses him saying, "What do you mean you don't know how to describe it?" Because that just doesn't compute. What do you mean you can't describe who you are if we spoke before? You come in here out of the blue unprompted saying that you know me, and then you can't describe that? What the fuck is wrong with you? What insane asylum did you squeak out of by accident? I mean, like, I can't remember anything besides how you look like, and I don't have our chats anymore. Only this right now. I don't even know your name. You even shot with guns. You Americans are crazy. She's talking to a lobotomite. He's suffering from amnesia, it sounds like. What do you mean you don't know? Like, you said we spoke on Reddit. You don't remember your Reddit account name or anything? And he tries to reassure her, "Oh, I don't even know your name, actually. I only remember what you look like." And just going off of that picture in my head, in my mind's eye, I was able to find your Instagram account somehow. Dude's trying to cosplay like he had his brain scrambled by MK Ultra and can't remember anything except for bits and pieces about this lady's appearance. He is very clearly just trying to avoid saying the Reddit name because he knows that she'll know that it's that weirdo creep from years ago that kept making tons of different accounts to keep harassing her. Also, I think I should clarify this because it may have been confusing. It started 2 years ago, but it wasn't like some one-time instance where this guy just made like a ton of different accounts and she blocked them all and that was it, just, put the kibosh on it. He continued to do this for a long period of time. Like, there's a post from her from 2 years ago with him doing it, a post from a year ago with him doing it. So he's kept doing this behavior for a long time, and now this is just his most recent rodeo here again. Somehow, creepy Redditor returned. The creepy Redditor of 1,000 faces. She says again, "Who are you?" "I don't know. That's the only thing I know. Maybe I told you my name and you'll remember. It's blank." I imagine whatever name he gave right there isn't his real name. He probably just dropped an alias or just a fake name that he probably thought sounded cool. I bet my sweet Bippy that he just chose a name that he lifted from anime. "Oh yeah, it's me, Thorfinn." "You don't remember anything, do you? And what's your name?" "Sorry, but I forgot." What do you mean you don't remember anything? You've given her no information. What the fuck are you talking about? What is she supposed to be trying to remember here? You are a complete stranger who hasn't even left like a single fucking breadcrumb to piece this puzzle together. She says, "What's your name on Reddit?" Point blank. That should be super easy to answer. And he goes, "Wait, let me think. Actually, it could be, I don't remember. Damn, it was so long ago. I don't know, I can't see the chat. I think you blocked me. But still, you are a bigger red flag than me." Oh boy howdy, he just dropped a bombshell and immediately goes on the defensive. "I think you blocked me. But it's because you're a huge red flag and you were intimidated by my overwhelming masculinity and the very strong jawline that I have. I've been mewing a lot. You were the problem then, but I'm willing to forgive you. I just don't remember what my Reddit account was. I'm sure you block a lot of people, so this probably wasn't like a dead giveaway, right?" "I blocked you? This is why you won't tell me your name." "I don't know, I am not that familiar. I don't see the chat, and a bit of time has passed. You're from the US, right?" I am from Europe. I don't even know what this strategy is here. I blocked you? I don't know. I'm not familiar. It's a lot of time has passed. You're from the US, right? Hey, did you know I'm from Europe? Said no European ever. Usually, if someone's going to talk about where they're from, they're not just going to say the whole fucking continent. So I'm starting to highly doubt that this guy is actually from Europe. He's probably just in the US and making shit up here. I don't really get what he's even trying to accomplish. It's just so weird. Like, it's not even like flirting or anything. It doesn't do anything. It's actual just like it's like NPC dialogue in a video game that you'd hear in the background that's malfunctioning. Like, it doesn't work. It's not even like statements he's making. It's just disjointed thoughts that he's shitting out. But this was enough to let the cat out of the bag. She says, "You're the one who was DMing me from different accounts." Yeah, and I would have got away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling Redditors. So smart, but I can't see the chats anymore. Hopefully you are not creeped out or something. I am sorry. But you have an insane memory, especially if you have to read so much lol. And she just goes, "Yeah, you're fucking creepy, goodbye." And he says, "No!" He probably saw that goodbye text message come through and he literally reached at his computer going, "No!" Like some kind of dramatic death scene in a movie. But now let's take a look at how we got to this point. Let's go to some previous seasons with encounters of this kaiju of cringe. We'll go all the way back to the beginning, 2 years ago. These are the first of the sacred texts, and it actually does look like they were at least exchanging DMs before this conversation happened, before he went full mask off and showed just how weird he was. So he goes, yeah, no worries. You just have to pick the right one, haha. Did someone send you a tribute? And she says, "What do you mean?" Now, if you've been around the cyberspace for as long as I have, you immediately know what he's talking about. He's talking about a cum tribute. That's something that only the most deplorable of degenerates engage in, where they come on someone's picture, or they even do it to figurines too, where they put them in a jar and then come on it, or sometimes they don't even use the jar. They go no props, they just do it raw. And that is what he is talking to her about here. This guy is so brain rotted that in the middle of like what seems to be some kind of conversation between these two, he starts talking about cum tributing to her. Like a cum tribute to your selfies. Just talking about it so casually, like this is a normal thing that normal, sane people do. What are you talking about? I don't know, I could expect it from Redditors. I love that he tries to talk down on Redditors. He is literally like the quintessential Redditor that people make fun of. I'm so confused. What are you talking about? Like coming to your selfie and sending it to you. Or was that too much? Why would you even say that? Boredom, I guess? That's dangerous. I don't know. I finished studying and I am waiting until I meet friends of mine. He is trying so hard not to seem like a fucking loser, so at the end he's like, oh, I don't know, like something Redditors would do. I'm not like one of them. I'm just kind of bored, you know. I was studying and now I'm waiting for my friends to come over. I got like 50 friends coming over because they wanted to hang out and like smoke cigarettes with me and shit, because like that's kind of what we do. And then maybe I'll end up having a threesome tonight, but I kind of just want to talk to you about all this splooge news, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm just kind of hanging out is all. Now, apparently she blocked him after that. I can't imagine why. And he was just as perplexed as I am. His confusion was so strong that he made a new account to message her again and try and get to the bottom of this mystery. Come on. And then I think he says her name there. Like, I am not doing anything, just being high. Like, come on, you can't get mad at him just for being high and talking about cum tributes. Like, what the fuck? Like, come on, I have a soul. Are you serious? You text me from a new account? You're the creepiest person I've met on here. Seriously. It's getting weird, yeah, but I enjoyed talking to you. Please stop. Send a selfie. I will also send one. No, fuck you. No! I don't know. I think we could have a good chat. Dropping his signature classic, no! Right before being blocked. I like that. I like how he says that they can have a good chat if given the chance. But it seemed like they were chatting, and then things just went off the rails, completely unhinged, with him bringing up busting a load like tributes to her. I don't know what he expected. I don't know why he thinks that's something that's normal. And he also just in the middle of this asks for a selfie and then tries to bargain by saying, I'll give you one. Like, you know, if you show me yours, I'll show you mine. Come on, this is a great deal. Show me a selfie and I'll give you one. I know you really want one. Come on. Like it's some kind of gift. It's not like she's asking for a selfie. Nobody wants that. And there's no doubt in my mind he was just going to send some random person's picture. He probably would have chosen like Henry Cavill, like, surprise, it's been me, Henry Cavill, this whole time. Don't you feel silly for blocking me on the other account? All right, now let's talk seriously. Because this guy's probably like, I think he's probably on the much older side of things, just judging by the way he talks. And he has just been so poisoned by being just glued to Reddit that certain things on there, like tributes, he thinks are like normal things that younger people do. So after a couple blocks, he sends another one here from a new account, and it says, okay, will we talk if I send a selfie? Please, I want to prove to you that I am a 20-year-old chilled dude, actually also a romantic. And are you actually doing fitness? Answer this and I will send you a selfie. Nobody fucking wants a selfie. It's not a reward. It's a punishment. It's a goddamn curse. And he keeps saying it. Like, look, if you just answer these questions like, are you into fitness? I'll send you a selfie. You've been begging for one. I'll do it. And please send me one. Come on, it's that easy. He just keeps mentioning that he'll send a selfie like, will we talk if I send one? Will this get you to finally open up to me? Fine, I'll give in and send you one of these, I suppose. Fuck, man, it's so weird. This dude's made a ton of accounts just to keep doing this to this person. And again, I imagine many others, but this is the only text from him that I can find thus far. It's so creepy. I always just find it fascinating how someone like him can exist. You can read these. Like, he's seeing the same messages we are, but to him, it's fine, and she's in the wrong. He even calls her a big red flag. It's fucked up. But yeah, I wanted to talk about this a little bit. Been a while since we checked out some classic creepy messages, and that's about it. So yeah. There are few things in life as pathetic as being a proud Reddit moderator. It's a position that attracts the most insufferable hoity-toity dweebs like moths to a flame, and it bestows upon them the tiniest sliver of power, just barely above like a middle school hall monitor, and somehow that immediately goes to their heads and corrupts their already ugly soul, leading to the most embarrassing meltdowns and just outrageous power trips over nothing. And this is a stereotype that's existed for a while, and it seems like it's just the truth of being a Reddit mod. Like, this is just the sad reality of the people that take up that mantle. They think of themselves as fucking Batman, but what they actually are is the goddamn box ghost from Danny Phantom. Anyway, though, I'm blasting that ass with some new hotness here. A brand new mod meltdown courtesy of r/art. It is a pretty fascinating one, and also not its first rodeo. The r/art subreddit's got some hostile mods. So I'm going to go over the most recent one from, I think it was yesterday. And then I also want to give you a little, blast from the past from a previous instance where one of these mods went nuts. But this one I think is quite special. So what happened is there's an artist named Hayden Clay who posted his art on the subreddit. It got very popular, and in the comments he was replying to somebody asking for more information about his work, and he mentioned that, you can find my work here, and there's also some prints available too. Just a very quick reply to a nice comment. And one of the rules of the subreddit is you can't be like self-promoting your work, so you can't be like advertising prints or anything. So because he used the word prints, it got the whole post removed. Just blasted to the shadow realm. They smited it. So Hayden Clay was pretty upset, so he messaged the mod about it, trying to get further clarity, and maybe he could try and find a way out of this pickle here because he felt it was unjust. There you can see the comment that got him banned. I have a whole mini-series called Clear Boundaries with Prints Available. Just a very offhanded remark about having prints available, and it was removed because of that. So he said, "Are you seriously banning me for giving more information on my work? No, I banned you for breaking our rules. But I can also remove all your old posts as well if you'd like." Oh man. This guy's no nonsense, tough as nails. You don't tussle with the muscle. r/art mod. Oh, brother, watch out. He's coming down with the iron fist. This is so fucking silly. So, like I said, the rule is like no self-promoing or whatever. You can't be mentioning where they can purchase your art or anything like that. Which he wasn't really doing. It's an offhanded reply to someone that was saying they'd like to have the art in their office or whatever. Like, it's such a stretch to even have that be like a violation of their rule in the first place. It is solely because the word print is there. What an unbelievably stinky loser. This guy is working for free as the moderator of a subreddit and he thinks he's doing the Lord's work here. He's treating himself like he's fucking Jason Bourne or something. Oh my god, it's so sad. I can literally smell this guy through his messaging. I already know when he typed, but I can delete your old posts as well if you'd like. I can see him doing this with his hands like some kind of fucking anime supervillain. Oh, he's such a worm. Hayden Clay responds saying, just delete the comment and move on. Sorry I mentioned the word print. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back. He said, your history has been removed. You're welcome. He laid the smackdown on him. He just poofed away all of his post history. And then he replied again saying, at this point, this isn't about breaking the rules. This is you having some sort of vendetta against me. My comment broke Rule 9. I get that, and apologize. This reaction is overstepping boundaries. Which it definitely is. Worth mentioning, Hayden Clay had some posts that were extremely popular, some older posts in his history. Like, I think one of them, according to Dolan Darkest, was even in the top 250 of all time for the subreddit. So having his entire history removed actually is somewhat of a big deal to an artist who has this as a means of showcasing their talent. This, also, just to be clear, I think this rule somewhat makes sense to avoid, like, exploitation for people coming in there solely to, like, astroturf it for their own gain or whatever. But when it comes to, like, an individual artist, having this kind of eyes on their art, this visibility is very helpful to them. So I feel like it shouldn't be something that you destroy them for solely because they mention that they could be found elsewhere. Like, I feel like that's something you should want to help these artists that are very talented. But on r/art, it's run like some kind of fucking cult, I suppose. And if you step out of line, well, I hope you're ready to take the big beat down that the mods will give you. They'll take you behind the back of the bar and break your kneecaps. Metaphorically speaking, of course. I don't think they even know how to throw a punch. They'd probably break their own fucking wrist if they even tried to hit a heavy bag, I would imagine. But this shit is just so unbelievably foul. Like, he has done nothing wrong. He reached out asking, you know, like, what's going on? What's the deal here? He even, like, apologized and said, can you just delete the comment and we can move on? And that was enough to make the Reddit mod go even more Insano style. Like, Jesus Christ. Just check yourself into an institution, buddy. Oh my lord. I don't even know who the fuck you are. He thought that line went so hard when he thought of it. That's some major main character energy there. Oh! Yeah, Hayden Clay's the one with main character energy. Certainly not the r/art mod who's gone through and deleted every single one of his posts, all because he had the gall, the audacity to talk to him in DMs. He dared try and speak to a mod. Don't you know they are holy, sacred icons of the Church of r/art? You can't just speak to them and question their decisions. And then he says, he replies saying, says the power-hungry mod who deleted all my posts because I asked the question. True. You've been reported for harassment. Have a wonderful day. Nice job making this sub a worse place for artists and those who enjoy it. Yeah, the mod reported him for harassment all because he was asking a question in DMs and then just responding to having all of his shit just wiped out in the extinction event of r/art. And now he's been reported for harassment. I already know this mod. His heart was beating so fast. This was probably the most excitement he'd had since the last time he had done this. Like, I bet he was cracking open 4 Mountain Dews, like cracking his knuckles. Time to get to business. He talked to me. Time to remove all of his posts. Also, that report for harassment led to Hayden Clay being banned site-wide on Reddit for 3 days. Pretty cool system they have over there at Reddit where one angry mod can make a complete fraudulent, bogus report of harassment and it immediately leads to a ban for the recipient there. What should have happened is this report goes through, someone takes a look at it, they immediately recognize that this mod is unstable and should not have that position in the first place, so they strip him of his mod privileges. That's what should have happened. And if that did, I bet that guy's life would have felt like it was crumbling down around him. Because if he can't enact his power on strangers on r/art, then his life has no meaning. But that is just not how Reddit functions over there at all. I remember over the years it's been kind of revealed that a large part of Reddit is controlled by a handful of these turbo losers, where it's like this tight-knit club of people that have absolutely nothing going on with their life, so their whole existence is dedicated to power tripping on Reddit and like controlling it like they're the puppet masters. And I imagine this is one of those kind of people, because it's pretty clear that he can just report someone and immediately they're banned for it. So I have to guess that this mod is part of that group, especially when you consider that his appeal was also denied, with the admins siding with the mod's harassment theory here, believing that that was the correct course of action. He needed to be banned for 3 days, all because he decided to try and ask a question to an r/art moderator. That's a sin punishable by death on Reddit. But anyway, as a result of all of this, r/art went into like a pseudo lockdown where you couldn't submit new posts or make comments. They have since soft reopened it so you can make comments again. And of course, all the comments are probably what you're expecting, where everyone is mentioning Hayden Clay and how unfair this is, and basically calling for the resignation of this mod as if it's some kind of like legitimate position. It's not, and it's also never going to happen. He is never going to relinquish his mod privileges. It is literally what he lives for, I bet. And you can kind of see that because he still replies to people that reach out about this. Like, even outside of Hayden Clay, there's people expressing their concern. So here's another r/art mod classic. We ban people who don't follow our rules, for sure. Cool, but I'm more talking about the way the mod spoke to the person. They just asked a question and they got their history wiped. Not sure what you mean. If you look at the link I provided, you can see the conversation they showed between themselves and the mod. Or they refused to follow our rules and were removed. Okay, but like I said, their history was wiped for asking a question. Is that what you do here? I'm not clicking on your link. It's a Twitter link. I'm not sure how this can be a productive conversation if we aren't looking at the same information. And then they got muted. Pretty cool. I'm not clicking on any of your links that maybe go against what I'm trying to express here. You're out of line, Buster. Get muted. Goodbye with you. You're not welcome on r/art anymore for asking us questions and trying to bring up concerns. We don't do that around here. So that's kind of the state of r/art mod team. And I think it's important that you know that this isn't an isolated incident. A few years back, something kind of similar happened where one of the mods went on a bit of a wacky power trip where they had removed a post from an artist claiming that it was AI art. That artist reached out to prove that it wasn't, to try and get their post reinstated. I'm the artist of a painting, A Muse in Warzone. I'm here for complaining about the unfair ban, but I can give you guys the process or the PSD file of that painting. I'm not using any AI support, and that punishment is not right. Sorry for my bad English, and thank you for your time. Here's my portfolio. Take a look. The r/art mod replies, I don't believe you. Even if you did paint it yourself, it's so obviously an AI-prompted design that it doesn't matter. If you really are a serious artist, then you need to find a different style because A, no one is going to believe when you say it's not AI, and B, the AI can do better in seconds what might take you hours. Sorry, it's the way of the world. You've been temporarily muted from r/art. Yes, very classy r/art mod. I can hear your pinky was up when you wrote that reply there. So he struck the post down believing it was AI art. When reached out to and challenged with proof that it wasn't AI, he instead goes, okay, so even if you did paint it, and even if you are a serious artist, I still don't like it. Also, AI can do what you did much better in a matter of minutes, what might take you hours. Sorry, bub, that's the way of the world. Also, you're muted. This happened a couple years ago, and when it happened, this was also a pretty big deal to the r/art community, but nothing happened. This mod, as far as I know, is still currently a moderator on the subreddit. Who's to say it's not the same mod that just had this meltdown with Hayden Clay? I think there's a very real possibility, especially judging by the cringe way that they communicate with other people. So I think it's very possible it's the same culprit. Regardless, though, it is so pathetic. Whoever is responsible for this shit here. It is unbelievable to me how often this seems to happen with Reddit mods. Like, this stereotype has existed for a long time about being like this sad, lonely loser who power trips as a Reddit mod, and yet it keeps happening over and over and over again. There is no self-awareness and no fucking shame from some of these Reddit mods. It's tragic. What? It's just so stupid, man. Unreal. Anyway, that's about it. So yeah, we recently experienced a government shutdown, and now, with the 1-2 punch here, the two-piece combo, we are experiencing something even more devastating. The r/art shutdown. Lord help us all. The mods decided to sail off into the sunset, and it looks like that subreddit is now just in shambles. With no tyrants to moderate it anymore, there is nothing left. And they couldn't even just leave without making it cringe. They made a post about it. I'll go ahead and show you that real quick. But in a nutshell, if you haven't followed the story at all, there was a mod on r/art who took down a post from an artist named Hayden Clay because he had mentioned the word print when replying to a compliment in the thread, which is against rule number 9 on the 10 commandments of r/art, where you can't promo anything. So they took down his post, and he reached out to them in DM saying, hey, you really gonna take my post down because I gave a little more information? And he said, you broke the rules. I can also delete your entire history if you'd like as well, which was very hostile, a very power-trippy response, to which Hayden Clay responded, basically saying, like, this is a little weird. And they said, okay, take this then, Buster. Here's your just desserts, and deleted his entire post history, which included all of his art, some of which was some of the most popular on the entire subreddit, which is a pretty big blow. Hayden then responded to that again, just saying, like, this is ridiculous, seems like you have a vendetta, and he said, I don't know who the fuck you are. Some main character energy, just really eye-rolling, nauseating shit. To which Hayden once again responded about, like, how ridiculous it was, and then they said, you're reported for harassment, have a good day, which ended up immediately banning Hayden from Reddit for 3 days, because apparently Reddit mods have that kind of power, where even the admins will just bend the knee to them. It was a huge deal, big hoopla. I made a video about it yesterday, and everyone was upset at these mods because this is just completely unfair and it's ridiculous. It's unhinged to be behaving that way. And now, in response to everyone calling it out, this is what they did. I know, apparently the r/art mods are throwing in the towel. They made this dramatic post. We out. You win. We all resign. This is them signing off, I suppose, after so many people called out what they did as being just fucking ridiculous. They can't even just leave without making it cringy. It's impressive. They still had to do some kind of little song and dance on their way out. I know, they think this shit went so hard. It's so tough. Just fucking dorks. Just complete dorks. Power-tripping dweebs. So everyone was making fun of them, shooting spitballs. Myself included. How can you not make fun of a vermin this embarrassing? And then, this afternoon, they made this post. So I guess they're resigning, which is cute, because it's not like a real position. It's not like a, give me your badge and your gun. This is literally just logging out. That's it. This is one of the bigger subs, too. They'll be replaced quickly. They're probably just going to make alt accounts. They're not going to be replaced. One thing that I have learned about Reddit is that there is this upper echelon of, like, closed-door handshake mods that all moderate, like, 90% of this fucking platform. And this is such a big subreddit, there's no doubt in my mind they're just going to have them make another account to be a mod or some shit, pretending. There's no way. They're not going anywhere. That ego response by the mod. I mean, it's crazy ego just from being a fucking unpaid moderator of a subreddit. Also very possible they paid for the position to begin with. I don't know about that. I don't know how that works. If you pay to be a mod on Reddit, that should be a jailable offense. It would be so interesting if someone infiltrated the inner circle of Reddit mods. I think it'd be interesting, yeah. I think that actually would be a fascinating story. Because maybe some of them do get paid for it. It's possible. I doubt it, but it is possible. It's just so lame. They couldn't even just recognize that the problem was their behavior. There's just no level of, like, self-awareness, it seems. Like, if you're gonna resign, which again is just such a loser way of putting it, you are a fucking unpaid janitor on a Reddit subreddit. Like, come on. It's not that big of a position here where, you know, there's gonna be some kind of, like, ceremonious ordeal around it. But if you were going to, like, relinquish that position, maybe having some reflection like, here's why. I understand where you guys were coming from. I apologize for being such an insufferable douchebag asshole to this artist. You know, maybe something like that would have been in good taste. But instead, they just hit you with the, we out, you win, we all resign. It's just, oh, it's just so skin-crawlingly annoying. But I guess this is a very strong brotherhood because it was one moderator who went rogue. Well, potentially two because of the story I covered 3 years ago where a guy fucking melted down because he thought one of the artists submitted AI art when he was proven wrong. He said, well, your art isn't what I like anyway and AI can do it better. Get out of here, Buster, plus you're muted. That could have been two different people, but at most, that's two people on this mod team. That's not the entire mod team. But because of these two, the entire team decided to disband together in solidarity. So it seems like they kind of rally behind that behavior, at least that's the perspective I get. The impression this leaves me with is that these mods felt like they did absolutely nothing wrong and people were just being ridiculous with pitchforks calling for their scalp. So instead they're just going to be the bigger people and just leave. That's it. But they don't think they did anything that warrants any kind of, you know, outrage. That's the impression I get. I think it's so weird how the entire mod team now leaves because of the behavior of one, potentially two of them. That to me shows that they kind of huff their own farts and enable themselves. Like they wind each other up and think that they're constantly correct. It's just, I don't know, very pathetic, really, all around. But maybe it's not the entire mod team. That's just how it reads. It said, we all resign, and the subreddit is now in like a limbo, so it seems like it's the entire mod team on r/art, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's just a couple of them. Who knows? What I do know, though, is that I want to leave you with like a little positive nugget here that I was going over on stream last night. I don't know how many of you saw this, but there's actually a really hype collab between Assassin's Creed Shadows and Attack on Titan. Holy fuck, it's a disaster. You have to see this shit. Like, I don't think it's worth making a whole video on, but you at least need to check out a snippet of this. Speaking of art, did anyone see the Assassin's Creed Attack on Titan collab? It's incredible. This might just get me back into Assassin's Creed. It is actual peak. Look at this shit. This might just have me fire up Assassin's Creed Shadows. No, it can't be! No! Get out of there!
Go! Come on! Come and get it!
Why does he look like Skibbity Toilet? I don't know, that's Ubisoft polish for you right there, baby. Oh, also, if you were thinking that you were going to be able to fight this as some kind of boss fight or something, think again. This is the extent of the encounter. You just run away and then he gets trapped.
Someone back home once said,
Boy howdy do I have a wacky update for you. If you're standing up, you're gonna want to take a seat. This is big. This'll wake your grandma up. I posted a video earlier today giving you the aftermath of the r/art Reddit mod meltdown and how apparently the entire mod team had resigned, basically turning in their badge and gun saying, you know what? We're done here, bucko. All because one greasy ghoul on the moderation team let his ego spiral out of control because of that small crumb of power he was given as a moderator on the subreddit. And he just went ballistic. He lost his mind, lost his marbles, but could never lose his virginity, and it was just pure pandemonium. He got called out, couldn't handle the criticism, and then it seems like the entire mod team disbanded because of it. But I just learned, because I was reading the comments on the video, that Dolan Darkest had posted an update to the story that actually paints a very different, even more pathetic picture than what we thought happened. Because their post just says, "We out, you win, we all resign." What if I told you that's not the whole story? What if I told you that was a big fat lie? The call's coming from inside the house. It turns out that the real scoop here is even more degenerate than you could possibly imagine. Like, I don't even think fanfic writers would have come up with something this embarrassingly pathetic. So, big thanks to Dolan Darkest for uncovering this, because it is unbelievably comical. This is a truly special crash out that undoes 15 years of professional Redditing. It's incredible. And I use the word professional Redditing in jest. That's not really a thing. If anyone calls himself a professional Redditor, that is someone that needs to be locked inside Arkham Asylum ASAP.
It turns out the moderator who power tripped and caused all of this in the first place, known as Neo Diogenes, actually had one last power trip. According to one moderator, they had no idea what had happened, as no communication was given when the subreddit was locked down. He undid this lockdown, and then he got kicked as a mod.
So this is one of the mods on the team that was unaware they were fighting in a war right now. They didn't know Judgment Day had happened. So they're saying, "I woke up to a bunch of people DMing me about a situation I knew nothing about and responding to my comments in completely unrelated subreddits. I contacted admins, tried to contact the mod who had locked the subreddit through various channels, attempted to undo the lock, got my actions undone, then got booted as a mod. Now I see posts from meme subreddits I frequent and give my side. I haven't chosen anything lol." He then went on to explain that there can be unlimited mods, so he wasn't like taking somebody's space by being there, and only did what he could to help out with some of the tools and things like that. And it was not like, you know, constant updates what was happening there, which is why he was out of the loop. So Scooby-Doo and the crew pulled up here, and Dolan unmasked the mustache-twirling evil villain, and it turns out it was someone named Neo Diogenes, which, according to a lot of people on Reddit, is someone that has somewhat of a toxic history. I'm not overly familiar with Neo Diogenes and his reign of tyranny and terror. I have no clue. But according to Dolan, that was the mod that was going on this wacky power trip. And this mod here is saying that they actually tried to lift the lockdown, which, you know, trying to get them out of DEF CON, ended up putting their own asshole in the crosshairs of superstar sniper Neo Diogenes, and he enacted revenge. He reinstated lockdown protocol and then booted this mod.
The only other active moderator I could find also posted that they didn't leave voluntarily, calling the mod that kicked them stupid, and providing proof they were randomly kicked, saying it was definitely just one mod crashing out.
This is another r/art moderator echoing the same sentiment as the previous one about getting kicked randomly. So basically, Neo Diogenes was purging. He was on a fucking crazy crash out, leaving bodies in his wake. I don't have access to any logs anymore, but I can post this as proof that I didn't leave voluntarily. You don't get these messages when you leave a subreddit on your own. I'm not sure which mod did it, but they're fucking stupid in any case. And then they posted the screenshot. The other message Dolan highlights from this mod is about how they believe it is one mod crashing out, which I think is the correct theory here. I think that's pinning the tail on the donkey. And keep in mind, all of this started because the person whose post they removed messaged him asking, "Are you really going to do this because I provided information?" That's what started all of this. Someone just messaged the mod, loosely questioning their decision, like with the enforcement of their rules, because it was a bit of a stretch. And that's what started all of this. Someone dared have the gall, the chin, the strong chin, to question Neo Diogenes.
Now, during Neo Diogenes' crash out, he actually left a bunch of unhinged, sarcastic messages, deleting them 30 minutes later. Comments such as, "You're right, we look like total shits. It's why we quit. Better to be done with all that because we obviously suck at everything. You won, we quit. Go and live life to the fullest, champ. Like I said, I'm boring."
Looking at the message history from Neo Diogenes is just so sad. Yep, it's my fragile ego. For 15 years, all I did was, I'm assuming that says moderate. I don't know why it's censored. Maybe it's a joke. Maybe Dolan's viewing it as like a slur. And Reddit. Sometimes simultaneously. Holy shit, this guy's like an X-Men mutant. He's able to moderate and Reddit at the same time? What the fuck? I didn't know anyone could be so powerful. I was blissfully unaware that superhumans like this existed amongst us mere mortals. Wow, that's crazy talent. God, the tone of his messages is truly insufferable, just playing the world's smallest violin for his pity party and the wambulance showing up. Yep, that's right, it was a temper tantrum. I've learned my lesson, it's why I'm not going to be a mod again. I'm not cut out for it. Sure, whatever you want to call it, either way the result is what you see. You're right, it would have been a good idea in hindsight and all that. You're right, we look like total shits, it's why we quit. Better to be done with all that because we obviously suck at, well, everything. Actually disgusting that he's roping in anyone else on the mod team to his temper tantrum. This was a solo project here from this guy. It was entirely just him alone on the front lines of this battle. The mod team was not backing him from everything I've seen.
And now, it looks like he has completely nuked his Reddit account. I actually caught this in action when I checked out his account earlier today. All of his posts being deleted and replaced with random words using a plugin, and now his Reddit account has absolutely no posts left on it, nuking 15 years of moderation that he did for free, by the way, nuking an entire subreddit because you couldn't deal with criticism, and then kicking every other mod while you're at it, making it their problem as well, and then deleting every single comment you've ever made on Reddit. That's some major main character energy there.
That was a beautiful callback from Dolan there. That shit had me giggling when he brought out the major main character energy. That was what Neo Diogenes said to Hayden Clay when Hayden was like, hey man, it really feels like you have a vendetta against me because of this is just way too extreme with what you're doing. That was one of his responses. He said, I don't even know who the fuck you are. That is some major main character energy. So, based on this investigation here, with all available evidence, it seems that that post, we out, you win, we all resign, was very misleading. The truth hidden in the pudding here is that one mod was going through a very impressive crash out, and while still power tripping, sucking their own dick, kicked the other mods of r/art, then made that post, making it seem like they all banded together in unity and left together as a result of the backlash from this guy going off the rails. That is a nefarious plot right there. That is dubious, to say the least. So now all the other mods that seem to not be on his side at all have now been roped into it because of him kicking them, making that post, making it seem as though they were still suckling off his nipples there. Like, hey, we're in this together. Like as if they were backing him up. But that's just not the case, it doesn't seem. That's crazy to go this far. So he kicks all the other mods and then deletes his entire 15-year Reddit history, and it seems like Reddit is the most important thing to this guy's life, so that is a big fucking deal. All because the guy whose post you removed dared ask for more clarification and if there was any wiggle room to maybe, like, instead of delete everything, just remove that comment that he believed was violative. Because someone dared ask him a question and try and, like, expand and question him, it started this crash out. That's unhinged. And I'm not exaggerating either. It was one message that set this guy off. They hadn't talked previously from what I can see. When that poster was moved, he just asked, hey, are you really going to remove it because I gave a little extra information? And immediately he goes into, like, combat stance. He's like, all right, it's time to get pugilistic. You ready for fisticuffs? I'm gonna maybe delete your entire post history. Would you like that? I could do that if you want. And the guy's like, okay, bud, calm down here. And he's like, okay, it's gone. Like, that's it. He took the smallest, most trivial nothing burger and blew it up into this. I just can't, like, it is a very special crash out. And also, my apologies to the mod team. I had no idea that he was using you like puppets in his game here. He was the chess master and you were pawns on his board. I didn't know, and I apologize for, I guess, making the assumption that you were all, you know, fighting together here based on his posts saying that you were, or implying that you were. And I'm going to be super honest with you here, sports fans. It's hard for me to even be mad at this mod anymore. It has become, it's so fucking cartoonish at this point, this level of pettiness. I didn't even know somebody could be so petty. I didn't know that was possible. And from what I can tell, Hayden Clay, as a result of all of this, has gotten a ton of support. So that's really good to see. And it has just been a pretty incredible series of events to watch unfold here over the last 24 hours. Anyway, just I had to give you the follow-up here once I watched Dolan Darkest video on it. Unreal. That's about it. See ya. Hey, you'll never guess who just got COVID again. Not this guy. Haha. No, yeah, I'm just pulling your leg. It is me. How'd you going, though? I fooled you with the old razzle-dazzle. I've got the old coronavirus for the third time, the legendary three-peat. I catch COVID more often than Ash Ketchum catches Pokemon, and it makes me really, really upset. But luckily, the doctor prescribed the most potent remedy to fix this, a panacea, if you will. The cut. Last time I had COVID, I watched The Button. This time, I'm watching my new favorite Redditor identify porn stars.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
What's your name?
Anya.
Today you're guessing who's a porn star.
Okay.
How much do you know about porn?
Probably not as much as I think I do.
Do you watch porn?
Of course, like who doesn't? Bigger is better for me, and I like bigger butt and bigger boobs.
Right away, he just gets me on his side because he's doing the snap. Bigger butts, bigger boobs. It reminds me of SpongeBob and Rock Bottom. Bigger butts, bigger boobs. So, I like his style. I'm going to be honest, I think there's a chance he's just hamming it up for the camera, and he's not normally this quirky, but I don't care. I'm going to suspend disbelief and just enjoy this specimen.
You get a chance to ask some questions.
Oh, actually, I wrote them down when I was waiting. I have a sticky note. Can I use the sticky note?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. First, before we start, I'd like to thank every single one of you who is an adult actor movie, because you make my day every single day.
Who do you
Every single day? That's a lot of porn consumption. You make my day every day. He's talking about it like it's some kind of holy ritual. Hey, all power to you, bud, I guess. Now, he's not the only contestant here, but he's the only one that I want to focus on because he is the most entertaining. The game is identifying who's the adult movie star based on a series of questions they ask. And this guy is like the raid boss of porn knowledge. Man's got an encyclopedia in his brain for anything involving mashing pissers on film.
Would your male genital size matter, or the mastery of you using it matter most?
I think size matters, but the connection is more important.
Yeah, see, this is a family guy. No way he's a porn star.
This guy really thought he could pull a fast one on the ace Redditor. It only took him one question, and the question is as old as time itself that stumped scholars for generations. Does size matter, or is it about the mastery of the wiener? To which he responds with an answer that was less than satisfactory to our protagonist. I guess the connection is the thing that matters least in porn. I don't really know. I'm not going to pretend that I'm some kind of porn connoisseur, but I trust the Redditor.
Yeah, you look great. People would want to watch you, bang people or get banged by other people. What would you say is your most attractive feature?
My ass.
Pansexual.
Yeah, and polyamorous, so.
Or, okay. No, I mean, same.
No, I am. Yeah.
Would you say that the human interaction matters in the adult movies?
Honestly, I would say so, yeah. Because, when I watch porn, I like to see people actually connecting and not being fake.
Milady, I definitely think that you're not an adult industry actor.
Okay.
That was the coldest Milady ever dropped in the history of our species. He just used Milady in a way that, melted my heart. I was like, oh, shit. This man, he means business. He is too fucking good at this game. I think it's because he knows every single porn star in existence, so he probably walked into this room and immediately recognized who's in the adult industry, so he already knows the answer to the questions. He just does this to kind of play along a little bit and have fun. The other two contestants asked her questions, and her answers made it seem like she's definitely in the porn industry. But meanwhile, this guy's just asking her, what about the connection? And then he immediately starts doing complex algorithms in his head, making all kinds of deep calculations, and then eventually concludes, Milady, you are not an adult actress. Please, scram. Take a hike.
This is definitely the best thing that ever happened to me because, just being with such a gorgeous female is thrilling. My heart is pumping hard. As a person who vibes for the feelings, I believe a person such attractive would not waste her time in the adult industry.
Do you think people enjoy being in the adult industry?
I believe males enjoy it more than ladies because for the ladies it is a higher demand for their qualifications.
He didn't even need a question for this round. He was able to eyeball it. He is a porn savant. Instead, he spends his time rizzing her up a little bit, talking about it being the best moment of his life. It's making his heart pump so hard, it's so thrilling. He goes full Shakespearean on this for a bit. Milady doth made me come in me trousers. It's a little more like pirate themed than Shakespeare. But yeah, I was half expecting him to reach out for a fist bump before sending her back in line, because he knew she wasn't in the adult industry. I just love the way he speaks. He's projecting himself, like his voice, as though he's giving a class project presentation. Like he's making a speech, a monologue, if you will.
Okay, buddy.
Hello. For males, the biggest determination of them being an adult actor is the size of their male genitalia. What is the size of your manhood?
6 inches.
Man, come on, you're less than me? Oh God, I love today. Come on. You definitely are not an adult industry person.
Those are fighting words right there. To his face, the disrespect. He's just trying to casually flex here in front of the porn stars that might be watching that he has a penis in excess of 6 inches, allegedly. But he didn't hang hog, so we don't know for sure if it's true or not. But I mean, I have no reason to doubt him. All I have to wonder is, why is he blasting this guy for no reason? We caught just a glimpse of his true power right there. For a brief moment, his mask cracked, and we saw the devilish R-atheism supervillain lying beneath the nice guy exterior. In this moment, he is euphoric, not because of some phony god's blessing, but because he is enlightened by the size of his cock.
Because working 40 to 60 hours a week sounds like a lot of porn to make. What's the duty cycle on a vagina? That's what I got.
I'm gonna say not a porn star.
I think you are in the adult industry. So I believe this is the most wifey costume you can put on. You definitely carry a nice big front, and it's really hard to say for the back because of the dress, but I believe the back definitely fits the front as well.
He is the only contestant to say that she is in the adult industry, which is interesting to go against the grain like that. The others were confident that she is not a porn star. However, our main character thinks differently. Like, he is actually built different. It's like watching Michael Jordan in his prime, if Michael Jordan picked out porn stars instead of playing basketball. Like, you can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him. And you can't even contain him, because he's watching porn every day and blowing his load. This is a man who is at the top of his game.
That's valid. The main question is, what is the size of your package?
7 1/4.
Yeah, see, this dude beats me, so most definitely in one.
How many do you think you guessed correctly?
I would say 2.
Okay, with a show of hands, who did Matt guess correctly? Take a look.
Okay. Boy, I'm on fire today, come on!
Look at him. No one. Look at that. Now just imagine the dick. Go on, big dick.
So here comes all the big reveals, and what if I told you our Redditor Matt actually fucking blew it? What if I told you he was so goddamn bad at this? Would you believe me? Because you should. He did not perform super well here, unfortunately. It wasn't the best showing from our boy. He's gonna have to hit the books again and start doing a little more research on porn. So they're going down the entire lineup here. The first guy... Okay, sorry. Had to blast you with that real quick. The first guy that the other dude calls Big Dick is a porn actor. So, Matt was wrong there. He did not guess that correctly.
Did you get your runner right?
You got me wrong. You said I wasn't in the industry, but I am.
Okay. I should have guessed that.
Why should you have guessed that I was in the industry?
The open top, the open personality, the rebellious boots, and the tattoos.
Hindsight's 20/20, Matt. Unfortunately, he's 0 for 2 right now in this performance, and he's backpedaling a little bit here. He's talking about what he could have done differently, you know, if he had drawn up a better game plan, maybe if he had asked more questions instead of just like looking at somebody and immediately making the judgment on whether or not they're a porn actor or not. He probably could have done a little bit better, but you can't fault him for being confident in his abilities. This man is apparently, you know, jerking his meat every single day. You would expect him to at least recognize who is and who isn't based on very little, because this man he's in like the cerebro of porn, apparently, since he says, you know, porn actors make his day every day. So I can't exactly be surprised that he was this confident.
Where have I been wrong and where have I been right about the adult industry overall?
I think that you think that a lot of people don't like the connective part of it, like what I said earlier. Actually, a lot of people in the industry, we do like to actually have connections with like the people that we're working with, like even if we're just friends.
Cool.
Yeah.
This definitely is a learning moment. You know nothing about the people.
I love that he's giving them like an exit survey. Excuse me, madame. What exactly did I do wrong here? What am I missing? Because surely I may have overlooked some details here to have been incorrect in my assumptions. Can you educate me? To which he does like, hey, the connection does matter to a lot of people in the industry. And he's like, does it now? You learn something new every day.
Did you remove any of your ribs?
No.
Because I've never seen such a thin waist.
Well, I've had 2 BBLs, so.
I don't know what that is.
It stands for Brazilian butt lift, and it's also known as fat transfer, where they liposuction your waist or other parts of your body and usually move it to the buttocks.
How much that costs? Because I need to get that out of my body immediately.
It depends where you go. Miami's like really cheap, actually.
Okay, we're going to Florida.
Matt, I speak on behalf of everybody in Florida. We welcome you with open arms, buddy. I can't wait to see you down here. I also like that he's pretending to not know what a BBL is. I feel like that's become so, prevalent with people talking about it that he had to know and he was just playing it a bit coy, which I respect. Though I do think it's a little odd that he'd open with, have you had any ribs removed? But anyway, I don't know if the world's ready for Matt with a BBL. I don't know if we can handle it. That'd be like Cell reaching his perfect form. Matt being caked up for no reason on a Tuesday? Just fucking let it rip. Matt with the BBL would go insano style.
You guessed me wrong. I am in the adult entertainment industry.
Come on.
You got me wrong.
I got you wrong.
I do not make porn.
Did you ever think about it?
Oh yeah, plenty of time.
Now he's just speed running his shame. The guy that he belittled for saying that his manhood was not big enough to be in the adult industry because it's less than him is like, actually, no, you were wrong. I am in the adult industry, to which he gives just like a very sad little fist bump. And then the last little cherry on top is being wrong about his final guess, which is someone he thought was in the industry, but wasn't. And looking back on it, his reasoning was very, not that deep. It's just, is his cock bigger than mine? Yes. Must be a porn star. No. Absolutely can't be under any circumstances. Not the best tactics, and you can clearly see it didn't pan out super well for him.
We've had a memorable moment from today.
Besides meeting Girthmaster?
Girthmaster.
Got to meet the Girthmaster.
Meeting Girthmaster for the first time, I've followed him for a while.
What is it about Girthmaster?
He's such a nice, personable person, and also his dick. But
I'm Girthmaster.
Now this last section here really just upset me. Everyone said their most memorable moment was meeting the Girthmaster. But I have to say, that should be the second most memorable moment behind getting to meet Matt, the Redditor. Girthmaster's a cool name, no doubt. It reminds me of the old WWE wrestler they tried to jumpstart named the Shockmaster, who during his debut fell out of a breakaway thing, and then his Stormtrooper bedazzled helmet fell off, and he also had the worst voice changer of all time. But apparently, unlike the Shockmaster, the Girthmaster is very successful. But I would argue he's not as successful as Matt. I really think he got done a little dirty here. I would have liked to see more people celebrating that they got to meet Matt. But anyway, I had fun watching this. It made me feel a little bit better, so that's about it. So yeah. Now, I've seen a lot of people say that I look and sound like a Redditor, which is one of the most insulting things you can ever say about another human being. But what if I force-fed you a hard truth? What if I told you I don't really use Reddit? My narwhal doesn't bacon at midnight. I'll occasionally go on there just to see if there's any breaking news that I might be unaware of, but it's very infrequent. And I never, go into the swamp of a comment section on the platform. Until today. I don't know what possessed me to do this. It must have been some kind of divine moment that just grabbed me by the shoulders and possessed me, told me that I needed to read some comments today, and I am so thankful I did. I stumbled upon true beauty with an argument that could only ever happen on Reddit, that perfectly encapsulates the quintessential Reddit user. In this moment, I am euphoric, thanks to finding this fucking angry Redditor and everyone who engaged with him on this day. It started in the most unsuspecting location, but then again, that's where all good fairy tales begin, in the place you least expect them. So, it was a clip posted from this podcast. Now, the clip doesn't matter. I'm not going to play the clip. I'm sure you probably already recognize the person here. Her name is Bobby. She runs a podcast where she interviews famous celebrities, and her whole shtick is she makes things awkward, which is a very hit or miss format, so it's led to a lot of debate on why is she so popular. Also, is she an industry plant because she seemingly blew up overnight? She landed an interview with Drake while she was still relatively new and not massive, So it just started raising a lot of red flags, and a lot of people started saying, it must be an industry plant. And then she started getting even more superstar celebrities, like this clip is from an interview she did with Lil Yachty. And it's just been a lot of hoopla around her and her content. The only reason I'm even giving you this lore dump is because it is necessary to put into context what started this argument. And it's the entire reason I went into the comment section, really, of this video. You see, Bobby's content is very polarizing. On TikTok, people love Bobby. They're cheering her on, pumping their fist. Go, Bobby! Let's get it! Fuck yeah! And then on Twitter, it's boo! Oh, brother, she stinks. Get out of town, scram. This is garbage. So two very different responses to her content on two different platforms, but I've never really seen Reddit's opinion on it. I've never seen them weigh in, and curiosity got the best of me. I marched into Mordor, went to the comments in order to get an answer to the question, and most of the comments were pretty negative towards the interview, but there was one comment that spawned a whole series of dominoes to fall. So let's begin our journey. I'm going to blank out their name here. I don't want anyone to go harass anyone involved in this situation. So this individual comes forth and says, what grown man sits down and watches this bullshit, then have the nerves to repost this garbage to Reddit? Now this comment received a lot of love, over 400 upvotes, which is nothing to scoff at. That's a lot of high quality karma. Unfortunately, no Reddit Gold, Reddit Platinum, or Reddit Silver was gifted to it, so we weren't blessed with the edit "thanks for the gold, stranger" or anything like that, but still, the community responded very positively to this comment, and most of the comment section here echoed the same sentiment that they didn't really understand the appeal of the clip. Now, all of this doesn't matter. You can wipe your ass with all of this now, because going forward, this comment spiraled into something that had nothing to do with the original post anymore, and it went fucking insano style. Now we're introduced to our primary antagonist of Season 1. So, from out of nowhere, our main character gets challenged. Someone steps in and says, "Lol, you're on the Hot Wheels sub, dude. Weird to take shots at what grown men should be into when your interests include Hot Wheels. Different people like different things. Leave it be." So he goes into the post history of this individual and notices that they are a frequent poster on the Hot Wheels subreddit, and he's using it to take some shots at him to try and showcase, like, hey man, you say grown men shouldn't be into that, but I could also say grown men shouldn't be into Hot Wheels. You see how that works? And he's not wrong. He's coming for the throat here. You could absolutely say the same thing. What grown men would be so into Hot Wheels that they'd go on to Reddit and talk about it all the time? I personally have no problem with that at all, and I don't think this poster does either. He's just using it to make a point. I think whatever hobby you're into, whatever you collect, I think it's great. I think that shit slaps. Having something that you're passionate about that you would collect it, I think is a cool thing. I mean, I have fucking cards framed on my wall from Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon, right? Like, I get it. But this really struck a nerve with this guy. He responded by saying, "Grown man liking cars? Who would have thought? I see you ignored all the other subs. Maybe I should waste my time on rap and movie subs like all the other low IQ Redditors across the pond." And if you're an astute observer, you'll notice that he's no longer enjoying the luxury of some updoots. The subreddit has turned against him, thrown him to the wolves. He is now being flooded with downvotes. And a downvote is a fate worse than death to a Redditor. It's kryptonite to Superman. The downvotes start hitting him, over 100 downvotes. And I can see why. This feels very insecure to come at him like this. His point was pretty clear, but then he, tries to, I don't know, explain away why it's, really in line with being a grown-ass man because he likes cars. He's like, oh, well, yeah, grown men like cars, Hot Wheels are cars, duh. I mean, maybe I should just go to rap and movie subreddits like you low IQ plebeians. It's really, really cringy Reddit behavior now. The bad boy comes back with a tough-to-swallow pill. Hot Wheels aren't cars, mate. They're toys. Talk about low IQ, haha. You're not better than anybody else, sorry to tell ya. To which he responds, "The fact you had to come back and edit that pathetic response, LMAO." And then he just says, "Go play with your vroom vrooms." His collection of downvotes is starting to eclipse his collection of Hot Wheels cars at this point. They just keep pouring in. As you can see, most people are rallying behind the other guy who's just saying, "Brother, They're toys, not real cars. And he's right. He is fluent in facts. He is spittin'. They are not real cars. They are toys. There's nothing wrong with collecting them or liking them, but I don't understand why this goofball is talking about it as if they are real vehicles. He's like, you know, got this bravado going on, like this machismo, like, oh yeah, grown men liking cars, who would have thought? It's Hot Wheels, man. They're still collectible toys that you can play with, and they are made for kids, but there's nothing wrong with liking them or collecting them as an adult. Fucking Pokemon cards are made for kids too. I collect them. Like, there's no shame in it, but you're acting so insecure about it and, like, pretending that it's something that it's not. And he does the classic Reddit 101 when it comes to argument, where he doesn't actually address what was said. He just says, LMAO, edited your pathetic response, big L, basically. Like, his response wasn't pathetic, it was totally fine. You didn't counter it or anything at all. He just made you look foolish, and you continue to make yourself look like even more of a clown here. In response to the vroom vroom comment, he says, I'm changing spark plugs on my 700 horsepower F-150 right now. I will when I get done, though. And now, here enters the sidekick to our main supervillain here, who chimes in and says, you're trying too hard. To which this guy responds, actually, I'm low on boost. If I was trying too hard, I'd be at 950 horsepower range. It doesn't get more Redditor than that. Oh my fucking god, I could feel the fedora tip through the computer screen here. Milady, my horsepower is quite low, actually. It's just, shit, it hurts to read, it really does. The guy's absolutely right. He is trying so hard. I half expected him to go into, like, the Navy SEALs copy pasta. What'd you say to me, you little bitch? I've got 500 confirmed Hot Wheels with 6,000 horsepower and 400 RPM turbo booster NOS accelerators. Like, brother, it's Reddit. You're not Dominic Toretto. You're talking about Hot Wheels. It's not that deep. Even if he was being honest and was changing the spark plugs in his F-150, why would you say that? It just makes you look like such a fucking loser to say that during your heated little scuffle online. It's so cringy. If that's what you were actually doing, keep it to yourself. You don't need to try and, like, prove that you're a man to a stranger on Reddit. All hell breaks loose right now, and the cringe is rated E for everyone, because he starts just lashing out at anybody in the thread. So someone else made a comment, and he went through his post history, I believe, and found that he was on, like, the WWE subreddit. So he calls him out saying, WWE isn't real, bro, sorry to tell you. Maybe you should pick up a real hobby like learning about cars. To which they respond, toys. A slam dunk, he's right. It's all fucking about Hot Wheels so far. So then he comes back and says, yes, I'm not delusional like you, Mr. SmackDown vs. Raw. That's not even an insult. The WWE is extraordinarily popular. Hot Wheels Henry is just really scrapping for any morsel, any crumb of an insult that he can, slap together. And it's not working. It's not. He's fighting like 16 different battles from all fronts here on this comment thread, and he's losing every single one of them. Our boy then goes full armchair psychologist. You actually are ashamed deep down. That's the whole reason you chimed in on my comment. You felt attacked when I said, what grown man watches this? It brought back traumatic memories of you being bullied for liking WWE in this day and age. He's like, no, I commented just because of the toxicity. To which he says, I'd rather have a Hot Wheels collection in my garage next to my turbo truck than have Rey Mysterio and Triple H posters all over my wall. I don't know who's getting bullied for liking the WWE in this day and age. It's extraordinarily popular. Maybe like 10 years ago, but today, no shot. I think he's fighting ghosts with that one. You're much more likely to get bullied for collecting Hot Wheels cars as a grown-ass man. Case in point. Though, he's not actually getting bullied for that because no one really has a problem with what you collect as a hobby. The reason people are making fun of him here in the subreddit is because of his attitude, where he views his hobby as just superior to whatever else everyone's interested in. Oh, you see, no, I actually collect Hot Wheels cars, like a real grown, grizzled, strong, big-muscled man, not this lame garbage. Like, it just sounds like pinky up, high off your own fumes, sniffing your own farts kind of garbage where you view yourself as superior than others just because you think your interests are better. So you're just shitting on everyone else who called it out. Like, no one cares if you collect Hot Wheels cars in your garage and it's right next to your fucking Optimus Prime truck. Yeehaw, that's great. you're just being an asshole about it, which is why people are just making fun of you in the subreddit. His rampage continues, and this time he's pissing on sacred, hallowed ground. He insults RuneScape. He says, "You drive a stock car and play RuneScape, I know you're drowning in pussy." He's saying it sarcastically. So he checked the comment history of this guy, saw that he played RuneScape, and he's using it to attack him. Which is a wild one. Like, yeah, RuneScape's got some, less than stellar things about it, but there's nothing wrong with RuneScape at all. It's still an extremely popular MMO that is well loved to this day. And the guy's like, "I don't understand how a dude who plays with toy cars thinks he's above people on movie and rap subreddits and people who play RuneScape. We're all on the same site getting in our respective nerdy communities. What makes toy cars better than talking about media or playing a game?" Which is fair. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. And then he just goes, "You don't understand because you can't even turn a wrench on your own car. Of course, a mechanic is going to be into Hot Wheels considering he works around cars all day. Do you need me to further break it down for you to understand?" Oh, just that aura of insecure loser is very potent. It's like in Bleach when they first meet Kenpachi and his spiritual pressure is so strong that it just glues people to the ground, they can't even stand up. That's what his loser aura is doing to me right now. It's rough. Why do you feel the need to defend your hobby when no one's actually attacking that? They're attacking your behavior, where you think what you do is better than everyone else and can't understand that different people are going to like different things and there's nothing wrong with that. That's the only thing people are picking apart. That's what started this whole thing. You were saying, who watches this garbage? What grown man would do this? And one other guy was like, "Hey, you're a grown man who plays with Hot Wheels. You understand? Like, different people like different things." It could have been so easy to just meet in the middle, shake hands, and be like, "Oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, this wasn't for me." Just like Hot Wheels collecting, maybe not for you. But he just refuses to accept that reality. Instead, he's just going, no, you don't understand because you can't turn a wrench in your own car. He just keeps diving in on things other people like. "Do you just really call RuneScape a fun multiplayer game?" Responding to someone saying that it was a fun game, there's nothing wrong with it. "You're not playing COD, dude. You're playing a game that's synonymous with virgin weirdos like yourself. Deaf embarrassing." He's just trying way too hard. I can feel the tears in his eyes as he types these comebacks. Now, up until this point, I had a big smile on my face reading these for the first time, but when I read his next response here, I let out an audible gasp. So the guy, once again, is still going in about RuneScape, like, it's just an MMO, whatever, you're being a judgmental prick, and can't handle it when people roast you back. So you start combing through comment histories, massive Redditor mindset. And his response is, "I can definitely handle it, LMAO. I just shit on 10 different no-lifes, including you, that wanted to be relevant. There's multiple comments saying who watches this, but of course you want to reply to mine for the free clout and upvotes from the Fem girls." I don't even know what fantasy land this guy's in. He just went into Narnia, and he's not coming back, I guess. We've lost him for good in delusion. Farming the free clout from a Reddit comment section? What clout? And where did the Fem girls come from? And I don't understand. There's so many layers to this onion, I don't even know where to begin with picking it apart. So, first of all, he can't handle anyone roasting him back. He has showcased that very beautifully. He's had a full-blown conniption over this. He did not shit on 10 different people. He just made a fool of himself in response to 10 different people. And he says that they just wanted to be relevant. So I'm guessing this guy has a huge ego, and he thinks that he's some kind of Reddit power user, perhaps? Like, his karma speaks for itself, right? Like, this is a big guy. And you guys are only responding to him because they're trying to suckle some clout from his teats, his big, ample bosom of relevancy. It's wild. It's so wild to me. So I went to his account because I did a double take. Is this like a big Reddit user? No, he's not. Like, I don't know what like the highest upper echelon of Reddit karma farming is, like the biggest karma accounts, but his is not very high. Like, I don't know where this is coming from. But even if it was, if he's the #1 Reddit poster, there is no such thing as Reddit clout for commenters. That doesn't exist. Like, Reddit is the only social media platform where if you're extremely active, the #1 account on Reddit, it doesn't do dick for you. It does less than nothing for you. If you get Twitter famous, you can at least turn that into some kind of like sponsorship revenue or lead people to other platforms to maybe follow you. Now you can even make direct ad revenue from engagement, I guess. TikTok, obviously, you can make a whole career out of. Even Facebook, obviously, YouTube, Twitch, every other social media platform. If you are a power user of it and get like a big audience on there, you can make a whole career out of it. Reddit, if you dedicate your life to being a Reddit power user, all you do is get laughed at. That's your big reward. You get insulted for wasting your time. It is the only social media platform where you cannot make a career out of being a power user of it. So even if he was the #1 user on here, it wouldn't matter. And there's no clout that anyone would be able to get from this exchange. This was just one of the most bafflingly out of touch comments I think I've ever read on that platform. Now, another Redditor came in and said, "No way you just said free clout when referring to Reddit comments," also stunned by the statement, and he double responds here saying, "Your plan worked, dude. You got all the femboys wanting to suck you off. And since we're on Reddit, I'll just go ahead and do it. You used the wrong form of your, actually." And then his next response is, "Y'all should become friends and play together. Y'all would fit in perfectly with the rest of the RuneScape community." I'm at a loss for words. This is kind of where the whole thing ends. And man, what a banger of an exchange it was. It's just such an adventure. All starting from someone mentioning his Hot Wheels hobby. And look at where we ended up, huh? Look at us now. Who would have thought? This is a wacky, wacky argument. Probably my favorite Reddit argument that I've got to actually find for myself. I got to come into this in the wild. I didn't get linked to this. No one told me about this. I just happened to be perusing the comment section and then saw this argument unfold. And I got to go on an unexpected journey with it. And I really just had to share it. I had to. So yeah, that's really about it. So yeah.